Now, here's your host, Paul Blair.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining us, and welcome to the Bob Simmons Show. Well, it was homecoming this weekend in Stillwater, and the Pokes were playing host to the 8th-ranked Kansas State Wildcats. Cowboy faithful were gathered looking for some fireworks, and what they got was a classic Big 8 slugfest that went down to the final gun. With me, of course, each and every week, the head coach of Oklahoma State Cowboy football, Bob Simmons. Coach, after the week off, it's good to see you again.
Yeah, it's good to see you.
Well,
it's good to be back.
I wanted to compliment the staff, wanted to compliment the team. I thought you all did an outstanding job preparing for this game.
Well, I tell you, Paul, the staff did a great job in preparation. I thought the kids really came out and played hard. I thought the kids were very confident in playing this Kansas team, and unfortunately we came up on the short side. But for the most part, I thought we played for all four quarters, and those kids, we are very close to winning some ball games around here.
Looked like you put in some adjustments, both offensively and defensively, for the Wildcats.
Well, we didn't put in much adjustments. We just went back to the basics during those 2 days that we had off, and in our defensive game plan, we really tried to take advantage of their personnel with our substitution. In our offensive game plan, we really tried to take advantage of them being in man coverage a lot, and then running some option football, and then running some off-tackle plays.
After this message, we'll be back to take a look at the first half highlights. Don't go away. Welcome back to the Bob Simmons Show. It's a great day for football. Nearly 40,000 strong showed up to root on the Cowboys. 64-degree game time temperature. The stands were full. And, Coach, the first time since '91, all orange uniforms.
Coming out in all orange is something that we talked about during the week, and the kids, the seniors really came and asked for it. So we decided to do that. Here you see we start this game off right way with the kickoff return, R.W. McQuarters. We really averaged about 30.3 yards on the return, got us in great field position. So from an offensive standpoint, this is a great field position to start the ball game. Again, we start with our L.A. play, which is David Thompson running the draw play, and we put something in different, what we call our Thunder and Lightning, which we come up to the line, and because they were just milling around and really tried to go quick. You see what we're doing now is that's what we call our sugar huddle. We call the line from the line of scrimmage, and it really takes advantage of the clock. It gives us more time to really see what defense they're in, and then we can go ahead and call our specific play. See, we're stemming right here, and then Tony calls the play, which is an option play, and really if Tony Jones pitches this ball real quick, it's a touchdown. That I don't like. You know, we were really moving the ball well, and we decided to call just a pass play and really put us out of any kind of field goal range, and so we had to punt. We put our defense on the field. Our defense, for the most part, I thought played an excellent ball game. We still got a little bit of mental breakdowns, but you can see guys running to the ball, getting off blocks. I like to see where there's 4 and 5 guys on the tackles. This is a good play. Again, I think that's
Loika, their big tight end.
Big old tight end. He's about 6'7", about 360. But the defensive front really controlled the line of scrimmage early in this ball game. Alan Bailey had an exceptional game for us. Good to see him playing good football. 3-man rush is a nice get in the face, and by I think that was L.A. He did a nice job, and we just wanted to contain this quarterback. As you can see here, he had a habit of really gaining yards and scrambling for first down, and we really tried to keep that to a minimum. And then what I don't like here is the ball hitting the ground. We talk about catching all catchable balls, and Andre's got to make a better decision than that.
Later on here in the first quarter, Kansas State once again at midfield.
Yeah, they were smart. They took the win. We had to, during that offensive series, we had to get a first down to not give them good field position. Unfortunately, we didn't do that. They got good field position. They're driving the ball, and the defense, again, is giving good effort. And here is really a breakdown in our secondary where we're in the right coverage, but from a technique standpoint, we didn't get it done. This is the longest game of the longest game of the game, and here we go over the top. We're really trying to keep them out in our goal line defense, and they spread us out and then sneak for a touchdown.
Well, very important to answer after a score, and Tony Jones coming out to lead the way.
Oh, he did. Again, if Tony just leads this ball just a little bit slower. Alonzo Mays is going to catch this and probably run for another 10 more yards. And again, this is our off-tackle play that we were very successful with it. We call it our G play. David, who gained about 181 yards.
181 yards, yes.
He probably averaged 10 yards on this play alone, and our offensive linemen believe in this particular play. They block it well, and they were in the defense that we wanted to be in. Again, we come back with nothing but an ISO play. David's running very hard. He's having an exceptional year, and he's running inside, he's running outside. And for the most part, at this point in time, we feel that we can run the ball on him. We wait for the half to change. We get the win, and Lawson Vaughn comes in and kicks a 52-yard touchdown, which is cleared by more than enough. And you can see, watch Alonzo Mays here go out and get their jumper. That was an exceptional, good kick, and they had a 7'4" high jumper, which we had to take out, which Alonzo Mays did a nice job of that.
Just flipped him head over elbows right there. That was the third longest field goal in Oklahoma State history. Yeah. Kansas State with the ball deep in their territory.
And I tell you, part of the defensive job is really to try to keep them down here so we can gain the field position. And the defense in this sequence, I thought, played excellent. Excellent defense. They got a holding call on their offense, but we're swarming to the ball. This is just really a mental breakdown. This is a quarterback draw play, which goes for more yards than we like as defensive coaches. And but the important thing, what we did was force the punt.
After the punt, OSU taking over in some decent field position. The defense did what they wanted to do: come out, hold them to 3 downs, and force them to kick the football, get the offense back out, and we see Strickland on the field.
Yeah, Craig had a good week of practice. We wanted to get him. By part of this offense, it really turns of running the offense and throwing the ball, and for the most part, he didn't play a lot, but he did get some experience. We're going to continue playing both those quarterbacks. I wish he'd have stayed up here and gotten the first down. That's important. It's important for the quarterback, whoever the quarterback is to keep the drive alive. This is a punt on their part, and our punting game, I'm sorry to say, we did not have good coverage most of the day, and that's something that we got to get corrected.
Block in the back puts K-State back at their own 5, and they're starting over at that point.
Good, and they start with a hitch pass, and what you like to always see is people swarming to the ball here, which our defense is doing here. Jay Grossfield, Langford with one of his sacks, and the kids. We had 7 sacks on the day, and part of the defensive goal was to keep this guy in check. Here, the secondary is really doing a nice job. That's a really coverage sack, and Javon comes off his blocks, and you see the enthusiasm and excitement that is really needed to play defense with.
Well, 4th and inches on their own 17-yard line. They chose go for it. Mm-hmm.
That's all I got to say on their 14-yard line. But again, this play here, I want to run because I didn't think his foot was down. This is a great sack by Jamal here. See, if his knee is not down, that's a fumble. Mm-hmm. But looking at that angle, his knee was clearly down. But again, this is a critical time. This is 3rd and 10 here where we need to get a little bit more pressure. But guys are still swarming. There's another 4th and 1 situation where he chose to go forward and keep their drive alive. And again, our kids are really playing good football. They're keeping him in check. His last ball game, he scrambled for probably 80 yards, and here we didn't. His longest scramble probably was for about 3 or 4 yards. Nice job here. We got 3 or 4 guys always around the football.
Well, I really thought you made some great adjustments. I liked seeing Javon Langford move down to the defensive tackle position. You stayed with the 5-2 alignment, but just changed the personnel to get the extra defensive backs.
Yeah, basically when you stay with a 5-2 alignment, you can get in a scheme where you can slant your defensive linemen and bring an inside backer up, and it really ends up in a 4-man front.
Well, we have got ourselves a ball game. It's 7-3 at halftime. Come back and join us. We'll take a look at the second half. Welcome back to the Bob Simmons Show. Well, it's quite a battle, 7-3 at halftime, and Kansas State gets the ball to start the second half.
Yeah, Paul, we're in this game all the way, and at halftime we talked about not letting them come down and drive the football. We wanted to try to go 3 and out, and unfortunately enough, we didn't do that. We're playing hard. They're moving the football. Our defense have a couple of breakdowns here, but you can see guys flying around.
Good run support by Trent Fisher.
Great run support by Trent Fisher. He played one of his better ball games. What we're trying to do is really strip that ball, but we did not want them to go down and really drive the first down. Here it's 4th down and 3, and this is a situation where we need to be smart. 4th and 3, you don't want to play off a guy, you want to play on a guy. But the defense tried to respond here, and we call a blitz, and unfortunately, we have to communicate with everybody. We call a blitz, and one of our defensive backs did not know it was a blitz, and that's why that guy was wide open. So, those are things that you have to get corrected. We come back on offense here, and as you say, we have to answer it. And our offense have been doing a good job all game running the ball. Boogie Johnson is doing a good job. We put Andre in, and he does an excellent job for us. And so our offense come back, and again, it's just a short swing here where we're trying to get back to, I think it's a 3rd and long here. We get close to it, we're going to have to go for it. But this is Andre running our what we call our Tar Heel play. Doesn't make positive yardage. It keeps up the field, going north and south.
And we get a chance to answer going for it at 4th and 1.
Yeah, 4th and 1, and again, this is our option play. Tony does a nice. If he pitches it early, he's going to end up scoring. But what we don't want him to do is pitch it back after he had the first down. David Thompson's running an off tackle again. He's really running hard. He's got to lower that shoulder sometimes too. This is a great what we call our inside zone play, and David and the offensive line is doing a good job blocking here. He reads it. He starts front side and cuts his backside. We're sealing him off, and David is just doing an exceptional job.
Well, sitting down there, first down at the 10-yard line, who do you go to? Why not David Thompson?
Why not David Thompson? And again, they're in the front we want here, and the great block by Guillory, who also had a good game. And now this game, I think we're 17-10 here?
It's
no, it's 14-10.
Right.
And so we have just made a statement by marking it down. Our defense now is rejuvenated. We're back in this ball game. There's a lot of excitement.
And coming into this game, Kansas State had the #1 ranked defense in the country, only giving up 17 points all season.
They did. And when you score like that, this really changes your attitude of your defense. Guys are now flying around here, making stops. Nice job on the option where you see 4 or 5 guys, another 4th and 1. And Coach Snyder really believed in his offense to do that. That was awfully close.
I thought that was a bad call.
Yeah. But again, they keep their drive alive, which is an important part of what this kid does well. Here's a great play on their part, not smart on our part, because we know when they sprint away that this is what the play they were going to come back with, and we didn't get it executed. But the defensive front is doing a nice job. Dre Ghostfield, one of his 6 tackles here. This is a nice interception by Kevin Williams. Anytime you have a long drive, if you can come up with a turnover, which we did, and stop the drive, that really gives us momentum, and our defense just did that.
Going into the 4th quarter, crowd certainly into the football game, only down 14-10, but K-State back with the football.
K-State back with the football. They got good position, but the defense is playing well. This is a nice rallying point. This is a young freshman, Andrea Waddle. He really gets a tackle for a loss here coming off the backside, and that's good hustle. L.A., our other outside backer, was injured, and so this freshman came in and did a real nice job here.
Lawrence back to pass.
Back to pass here, and again, this is what's so bad. That's 3rd and 22. Again, we got to be in position to make those plays. If we make those plays, we're off the field here. Unfortunately, we didn't, but the defensive front is really shutting down the run, which is important. Here's a blitz where we bring a corner.
Courtney Garner nearly caused a fumble.
I wish you would have knocked that ball out. But we finally forced him to punt, and that's a great job by the defense. This is a great punt by their kid. He keeps us inside the 20 here, and now we got to start from off our 3-yard line, and David runs inside well, and he brings that ball back out to the 10-yard line, and this is a great cut on his part. Going the distance, we walled everybody off. The safety overran it, and now it's a foot race. David's gotten stronger and he's gotten faster. His speed is very evident here.
Well, I was really surprised. I knew he had tremendous strength and quickness, especially improved strength coming into this season. I didn't realize he had the breakaway speed that he had right there.
Well, I tell you, he did it. He's done a great job all summer, and we set this play up by formation, and the offensive line did a nice job of blocking it, and he's got to make one guy miss, and the free safety overran the play. David saw the alley, and then took it home. Took it to the pay dirt.
midway through the fourth quarter. Incidentally, surprisingly enough, that was the offensive play of the game. I know that's a real shocker to everybody watching, but great run, 91-yard touchdown run by David Thompson. As you mentioned earlier, Coach, he had 181 yards and 2 touchdowns on the day. Outstanding game.
When there's 7 minutes left in that ball game, now your defense has got to go out and has got to take control and can't make the mistakes that we just made here. Again, we're in cover 2, just pure zone, but we don't execute our technique and we let them get back in the ball game. And that's where we got to become a better football team. We cannot allow them to drive the ball down on us and really retake the momentum. Good teams do that, but when you're at home, you're supposed to use that to your advantage. And, you know, the kids are playing hard here. Nice job by Grossfield knocking the ball down again, once again.
4th and 3.
4th and 4, and we don't. We make that tackle, and I think the ball game is over. And those are the plays we have to make. Here, unfortunately, there's a defensive bust here. Should have been a better tackle by our strong safety. They get back up, but we got plenty of time enough to get back in this ball game. RW makes a great decision here. He gets outside. Again, he puts us back in position up by the 35, 36-yard line with 5 minutes left to really try to win this thing.
I decided to go up, shake hands with the fans there, and back out offensively is David Thompson.
Running inside, he picks up 7 here, and he picks up, I think, 3 more here. This 3rd and 2 here. We really call a quarterback draw here. We need to stay on our blocks. We stay on our blocks, we're in and making this. We come up with 4th and 2, and we talk about it on the sideline, and we really think that we have the right play call, and unfortunately, we have 2 guys jump, one our tight end, the other one our guard, and it puts us in a 4th and 7, and we call our Tar Heel play, and they did a good job of executing on defense, and again, we just come up short.
Well, Coach, I know Kansas State coming in the 8th ranked team in the country, had the number 1 ranked defense coming into the country, a ballyhooed offense capable of putting a lot of points on the board. It was a slugfest right down to the wire. What was the mood in the locker room with the players after the game?
Well, I just told the players that we're almost there. We have to improve on the little things. We cannot play outside of the framework of the defense. We got to execute on offense when we get those opportunities. And if we do those types of little things, we're going to win some ball games.
Well, right after this message, we'll be back to take a look at the Cowboy Coaches Honor Roll. Don't go away. Welcome back to the Bob Simmons Show. Well, David Thompson off to a remarkable year, well on his way to the 1,000-yard barrier. Yesterday, 181 yards and 2 touchdowns, including that magnificent 91-yard touchdown run from our own 9-yard line. Coach, if you would, take us through a little chalk talk and diagram that play.
Let me tell you what, our offense did a real nice job of really putting formations up against their defense. Knowing that they played a lot of man coverage, what we did was really brought our X and Z on the same side. We really flexed our tight end in a 2 tight end set, which brought their corners over, a DB over here. They're a 4-man front, so what we were looking for was a 3 technique and find out where the free safety line up at. And so when Tony came to the line of scrimmage, it was a check. He saw where the free safety line up at. Normally, what we want to do is run away from there. So we end up really scooping the 3 here, zoning here. The center's got a great block on this linebacker. We block down on this 3 technique. It's really called a G play. We'll pull the guard. The guard either go inside, outside. We'll base block here. Thompson has an option of either running inside or outside. And what happened is the free safety came downhill for the support, and he overran it. And then what David did, he started here and he cut it back up here, and he went 90 yards for a touchdown.
91 yards later, we were all celebrating for 6 points for the Cowboys.
That's right.
Well, I just have this strange feeling in my mind he might be the offensive player of the game, but each and every week the Cowboy coaches break down the game films and pick out what they call the Cowboy Coaches Honor Roll. And Coach?
Well, again, it starts with David. As you said, he had 191 yards. He's been playing exceptional football for us. I think he has over 700 yards for the 3 ball games. Brian Guillory really played excellent for us as a lineman. In order for if you had that many yards, you got somebody to block for you. On defense, Alamu Bailey had a great game for us, 5 tackles, 4 assists. He's starting to come on. Jay Grossfield had 6 tackles, including 2 sacks. Special teams was important in this ball game. It's really kept us in this ball game. Lawson Vaughn having that 52-yard long field goal, and then R.W. Quarters, who really averaged 30.3 yards on the return. And again, our rookie is Josh Gilbert, who did a nice job for us this week, and our scout team player is really Marcus Whitehead.
Thank you very much, Coach. And that wraps up this week's show. Next week, the Missouri Tigers on the road at Furrow Field. We hope that you'll be back again next Sunday night and join us right here. Thank you very much, and good night, everybody.